Hey sports fans, Happy New Year and welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. My name is Erik, Kohler, and as always, thanks for joining us. Great show lined up for you as we talk men's and women's basketball, as well as introduce you to the new Titan softball coach. Let's get up close with our national ranked men's basketball program, head coach Jeremy Shulman. Hey coach, Happy New Year.
Erik, Happy New Year. I appreciate you having me on the show.
It's always great to have you back on the show.
Absolutely.
Hey, so listen, you had a great opportunity. You hosted really two nice tournaments over the New Year. So you guys were busy over the holidays. Talk about those tournaments.
We were. Part of our goal of having the best schedule in the country was we needed to get some teams here to Titan Fieldhouse. And so we are very fortunate to get number 11 in the country, undefeated, Shelton State over here. And got Baltimore City, who's the best team in Maryland and one of the best teams in their region. And then, of course, Monroe, New York, who went to Hutch last year for the national tournament, and Harcum, who was top 25 in the country for most of this year. They just dropped out. But so, I mean, to have those four teams come from so far away to come down here, right here to Melbourne, Florida, for the great weather until the second tournament, it was great having them here in Titan Fieldhouse. It was great for the community.
Well, I tell you what, the holiday season, it seemed like it just was a blur, but you got 17 wins.
Yeah.
Again, you reload each and every year. Talk about the makeup of this year's team, how they're coming together.
You know, love this year's team. Love this year's team, and I sound like a broken record, but what's good and bad about this team right now is that we still have a long ways to go. Yeah, I couldn't say this at this point last year. Obviously, everyone who coach thinks you got improvement to do, et cetera, but this year's group is so far from reaching where we can be. But it can be frustrating on a daily basis as well, knowing that we've got the potential to be, better. And so, we made a real effort this week as a coaching staff, and led by, me after watching the film. That I've got to do a better job. I've got to do a better job getting the most out of this team. And so we had a really good practice yesterday, and hopefully it's the first step to make a jump and getting closer to where we can be with this team.
Now, Coach, how do you get your message through to the team? Every team, every student athlete reacts differently. This year you got some different players. How do they react? How do you get your message through?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah, right.
It's hard because, as you said, everyone's a unique individual, and you have to hold everyone accountable to the same standards, but you have to coach and treat each player differently, and I'm not always great at that. I've got to get better at that, and you can tell just in the product who, that I and we as a staff have reached. You can just tell by the way they're producing, and you can tell who I've got some work to do in building relationships. So to me, that's the key, is building relationships, however it is with each individual kid. But the more you build that relationship with the kid, the more you build that trust, the more you can really get on them and try to bring the most out of them. So I've got some work to do.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got a couple nice three-point shooters. Talk about that from outside the arc.
Yeah, Ahmed Ali and Nate Jack are, in my mind, the two best shooters in the entire country, or at least two of the top 4 or 5. And those two guys are it's unbelievable. I mean, to have them both in the same year on this team, they can shoot it from deep. They're absolute, unbelievable, pure shooters. And one thing we're gonna have to work on, obviously, going forward, teams know that they are two of the best in the country.
Right.
Coming in to, I don't know where they are currently, but coming in to a couple days ago, Ahmed was actually first in the country and made threes, and Nate Jack was third in the country and made threes. But teams, it's conference. We're in arguably the best conference in the country, and teams are going to try to take away the three-point shot by those guys. So we're going to have to try to adjust and see what we can do. But we're blessed to have those two. I mean, they make my job a little bit easier.
So how do you get some open looks when teams try to take that away from you? How do you coach it up to give them some looks since they have such range?
Well, I can't give all my secrets here on national TV. So.
Right.
Let's just say we've got some adjustments that we have made already, but we have more adjustments we have to make to be able to get them open looks. So I can't get it all on TV yet.
So now conference play. Now you come out of a strong conference now.
Yeah.
Target's on the back now because each and every year you guys retool, reload. Yeah. You're there to compete. So how do you do that? That's a challenge.
Well, the target's definitely on our back, and I never felt it more on our back than last year. Before that, I don't think people really took us seriously. And no matter how many wins we had, no matter how many championships, no one really took us seriously. And last year, we really felt a target on our back. And so last year in the Southern Conference, it was the toughest conference sledding that we'd had, since we started winning conference championships. And now we moved to the Mid-Florida. And of course, we picked the year that Central Florida is as good as they've been since their national championship year.
Right.
Daytona is absolutely loaded and one of the top 15 teams in the country. And Santa Fe is Coach Moore's best team since in my 8 years here. And Florida State Jacksonville is very solid as well. But I mean, obviously we've had one conference game and lost a tough, hard-fought game on the road to Central Florida, who's ranked 15th in the country. And I watched the film and I've got to do a better job. I'm gonna tell you right now, I've got to do a better job, and so it's motivated me. It's motivating. Hopefully, it's motivating and woken our guys up a little bit as well. But this conference is too good to not be absolutely as close to perfection as you can be with our process and what we teach as part of our system. And so, starting with me, I've got to do a better job. So we've got to do a better job if we want to survive this tough conference.
Well, Coach, I know you want to win every game. But sometimes,
yes.
sometimes when you have a loss, like you said, sometimes that's an alarm, wakes up the team. You're going through a grueling stretch of conference play next 2 months. That really could be a big lesson moving forward down conference stretch.
Absolutely, and obviously we won't know until 2-3 months from now to
right.
How everything affected. But we can't worry about that. So you're right. The process for us was not good before that loss. I'll be honest with you. We were beating good teams, but we weren't doing what we needed to do in the everyday process. You know me.
Devil's in the details.
I'm a process guy. You know that. And,
right.
So I think it has woken us up. Now, whether that leads to wins, I don't know, and it doesn't matter as long as our process is good. If we lose every game the rest of the year, I'll be very unhappy. But if we have the right
okay.
process leading up to it, then I'll feel like we at least did things the right way to give ourselves the best chance. And hopefully, when our process is good, we usually perform pretty well. And so hopefully this has woken us up a little bit, and hopefully we can be better going forward. And again, it starts at practice. It starts at practice. It starts in film. It starts with the coaching staff. It starts with, and obviously it starts with me. And we've had a great practice, and hopefully many more great practices. And we've got to have great walkthroughs, and we've got to have great pregame, and we've got to have great memorization of scouting reports. And if all that, and if those don't lead to the success we want, well, we know we did it the right way going in. But so hopefully it did wake us up.
So what does the schedule look like now? Since you're in conference, kids are back in class, back in kind of the regular routine. What does it look like? How much are you practicing during the week?
Well, the schedule looks busier.
Okay, all right.
When you have to worry about 2-hour study halls every single day, in addition to everything else that we've got with classes and weights and practice and film and all that, so it's definitely busier. But maybe I think getting our guys back in routine. We haven't been in routine since we played Florida Southwestern and Chipola. It had been the break for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, and then we had 2 weeks of games, but no routine, and we got complacent. So hopefully, even though we're busier, even though our guys are going to be more tired now, but hopefully being back in routine will end up being a pretty good thing for us. But it says all in the details, so we'll try to work on those details, and hopefully the results will eventually be pretty good.
Set up our fans. Next home game.
All right, so Saturday, Florida State Jacksonville, 4 o'clock, part of a doubleheader with our fantastic women's team. You've got to come out to Titan Fieldhouse. Got to come out. Melbourne, Florida, Brevard County, come on out. It's going to be a great doubleheader. Some great basketball there, and hopefully 2 Titan wins.
Man, I like your style.
Appreciate it, Eric.
You know how to sell it. You do a great job.
Appreciate it.
That's Jeremy Shulman. We'll come back with MJ Baker and talk women's hoops. Stick around. This is Inside Titan Sports.
Create the career of your dreams with a degree from Eastern Florida State College. Earn a bachelor's degree, associate's degree, or college certificate in growing job fields like healthcare, business, and computer technology. On campus or online, you can find inspiration and success. Anything's possible where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Hey fans, welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. Now it's time to switch gears and talk women's hoops. Please welcome back the head coach, MJ Baker. Hey Coach.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
I tell you what, it seems like it's been a while. The last time we had you on the show.
It has been a while.
Hey, 13-3. What a great start for the women's program. You really turned things around.
Yeah, I mean, it was not me. It's my players. I mean, they've worked really hard for it. They've really bought in, and they're just giving everything they have right now.
I'll tell you what's a great start. Now, you come into conference play, and everything kind of grinds out. Kids are back in the routine, as we were talking to Jeremy, but how are the ladies responding with the routine coming back with conference here?
Yeah, well, we have IMG tonight at home, and
Okay.
then we play Saturday. We're playing Santa Fe at 2 o'clock, who's is leading the mid-conference right now. We played them earlier in the year, but it was a battle. We ended up winning at their place, but it's going to be a battle on Saturday. And then on Wednesday, we end up going to FSW for our first conference game, and they're 15th in the nation, I think, right now.
Wow.
So they're playing really well. They just beat a really good Miami-Dade team last night, single pretty well. I mean, they gave them a good little beating last night. So they're playing really well right now, so it should be, playing at their place is always tough. So.
Well, what's really good, too, is this game on Saturday is going to be televised, WEFS TV. It's great to get the program, get the eyes on the sets, and some national exposure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great opportunity for our girls just to show what they're made of and just to continue. We want to continue to be a light and to inspire people, and so that's how we try to play.
Now, this is your first year. Have you settled in to Eastern Florida? I know you got a new house. You're still in the boxes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And being a coach and a mom and all that jazz, that's a lot to juggle. Are you settling in here on the coast of Melbourne?
I'm settling with practices
Okay.
and scouts, but my office is still not unpacked and my house is still not unpacked, but
Okay.
that's all petty little stuff. That doesn't really matter when it comes to success, so I'm not worried about it.
So how do you juggle all that time? I mean, you get a lot of going on, and you're a successful coach. I mean, what's your secret to success of time management?
Really just try to have a balance and try to keep things in perspective and what matters and priorities. And my priorities are my faith with God and then family and then my team. So I really try to keep those priorities straight and always try to wake up every morning and be in the Bible, and then I spend time with my kids, and then I head to work and invest and put seeds into my players and try to really invest in them as well. And then I go home and see my husband. So, I mean, it's just nonstop, but life is good. Wouldn't want it any other way.
Well, let's talk about the team. You have some special lights on the team. Talk about some of the stars that really kind of shone through this season so far.
Our core, two go-to players has been Brianna Lewis, our point guard, who's
Okay.
averaging almost a double-double in points and assists.
Wow.
She's just been our core from both ends of the court, offense and defense, just our floor leader. And then we have Alexandrian inside, who's just a double-double freak. She's just a kid that's just been playing so well that we've really count on that. She's kind of been the backbone to our program, and she put the team on her back several times this season along with Brianna. She's had 11 double-doubles
Wow.
this season already, and she's just really taken the team and really taken responsibility of our success on her back, which has been great to see her just develop and get better every game. And then we have our glue person, which is Victoria Morales, who starts every game and doesn't really put up a lot of numbers, but is always guarding the best player and getting the most rebounds, well, second most behind Alex. She just does all the glue stuff, and last game she was 4 for 4 from the field, hit 2 big threes against a really good number 3 team in the nation, St. Louis. She just played extremely well, gets her hands on so many things, does all the little things that you don't really see. And then Mariah, who's been a returner for Eastern Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were in a tournament in Georgia, she hit a game last second 3 to put us in overtime to have the opportunity to beat Georgia Highlands. And then 2 days later, she hits a last second 3 to beat the number 17 team in the nation for us to win by 2. I mean, she's just got ice in her bones. I mean, I don't know where it comes from, but this kid can hit shots. And the games are sometimes inconsistent for her, and we're trying to find the consistency for her. But I know at the end of the game, I have a kid that just knows how to put that ball in that hole better than Michael Jordan, I would even say.
I'll be darned.
She just makes so many game winners, and just amazing to have that in her pocket as well.
Well, we introduced you as the new coach here for the women's program. You didn't know what was left in the cupboard. You had some new players coming in. Now you've been with these ladies for a while. What's the makeup look like now?
Well, I mean, it's just a unique dynamic. Toughness has still kind of been our goal.
Okay.
We've had several people come watch us play, and they're like, man, y'all play so hard, and you guys are so aggressive. So the makeup with them right now is they just continue to find themselves as far as areas. We have to get better on the boards. We have to get better with turnovers. We play fast, so sometimes we make some silly turnovers. So those areas we're really trying to get better at, and then just continue to develop as far as chemistry and playing as a team. But I honestly feel like they're so bought in right now, and they're just trying to give their best every day, and we literally are trying to get better every single day.
Well, Coach, I tell you, that's pretty good, because at first you had a lot of injuries to start the season. You had different players, so you said you were going to kind of slow things down. And that shows the progression of this team now to get that up tempo and get that speed going.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, we were really down to 9 players, and I was only playing 6 to 7.
Yeah.
But now everyone's getting healthy, and we are really at 9 to 10 players. So sometimes it's difficult. It's more difficult for me now instead of them, because I'm having to learn how to manage them and figure out where their strengths and weaknesses are and what the game's kind of. Sometimes we go the defensive lineup, sometimes the offensive lineup, sometimes we're mixing it up. It'd be great if everyone could play both ends of the court
Right.
extremely well, but we really don't have too many players that can do that right now. So it's just been a really unique thing, just them all learning and being okay with whatever role they need each game. And that's something that shows a lot about our team, because the humility and the selflessness that they still root for each other.
Right.
One game, Ann Janine, who's a freshman for us, hit 5 threes. The next game, she didn't barely even play because we really needed people with speed and defense. And the fact that we have that versatility on the team, that we can really move people around and they cheer each other on and they're really about each other, it just, to me, just continues to support family for us.
Well, I think that's good too. You create that energy that everybody buys in. It's not about me, me, me. And you create that coaching philosophy too. Everybody's like, next woman up.
Right, and that's our philosophy. We really want to understand, like, obviously their goal is to move on from here.
Right.
And you can't do that unless you guys have each other's back. I mean, I don't know many people that have losing seasons and they just take the team to score 20 points and literally get the options that they really want. So our goal is just to be successful, make the experience be in the moment, make the best of the moment that we're in, and then let the future take care of itself.
I think the biggest compliment is you have outsiders that come watch your program and say they enjoy your toughness and how you like to play.
Yeah, we've had a couple high school teams come watch us play, and
That's
they're like,
impressive.
and the coaches are like, yeah, we love how hard your team plays. And I was just telling the girls that, yeah, you guys got to play really hard at that level. And yeah, I mean, that's, to me, is what is expected to even just step on the court.
Right.
Now is just continuing the IQ and just doing the next level things.
Well, talk about conference. Who are some of the foes that we have to look for in conference play?
Well, FSW is the foe.
Okay.
I mean, they are the team that we're going to really have to go back and forth with. I mean, it's going to be a good test just to start out from the gate, kind of like our men's basketball team with Central Florida at Central Florida. It's the same situation with us. But St. Pete is doing really well. Denisha does a great job with St. Pete, coaching them up. They have a very versatile team as well, inside and outside game. And Hillsborough doesn't have much inside game, but they scrap and press you full court. So it's going to be a battle, and it's exciting. To be the best, you have to beat the best, and so we want to be challenged, because if we get the opportunity to play the states, we want to be in a situation that we earned it and that we deserve it and that we're prepared to face the Panhandle teams.
Now, speaking of which, some of the goals, what did you kind of accomplish and tell them what you wanted to accomplish this season for this young team?
Well, I didn't tell them anything. I let them do their goals themselves.
I'll be darned.
So yeah, so the goals are up to them. So we had a family meeting, and they put out their goals themselves. One was to be undefeated at home, and so far we're good for that. It was to get 20+ wins and to finish top 2 in our conference, and to be one of the first teams to make it to nationals from Eastern Florida. So those are kind of the goals that they set, and those are just goals that we wanted to make sure that we can actually measure. So right now, I feel like they're doing a great job of really doing the work every day, because it is about the process, but at the same time, we do have a big picture in mind too.
Coach, big game coming up before we close out. Big home game this Saturday. It's on television. What time does it start?
Yeah, our game's at 2 o'clock against Santa Fe. It should be a great game. Santa Fe's playing extremely well.
Okay.
They're top of the mid-conference right now, so it should be a good battle of conferences and to lead us into our conference play.
That's pretty cool. 2 o'clock, WEFS TV. Check MJ Baker out and the women's basketball team. They do a great job. Coach,
Thank you so much, Erik.
thanks for your time. We're going to take a short break, come back, and introduce you to the new Titans softball coach. You don't want to miss that. Stay right here inside Titan Sports.
Create the career of your dreams with a degree from Eastern Florida State College. Earn a bachelor's degree, associate's degree, or college certificate in growing job fields like healthcare, business, and computer technology. On campus or online, you can find inspiration and success. Anything's possible where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Hey fans, welcome back to our final segment. I'll tell you what, it's a great honor to introduce the new Titans softball coach, Jim Badia. Coach, welcome to Eastern Florida.
Thanks for having the rookie here.
The rookie. Tell you what, you bring 25 years of experience to Eastern Florida, and you are the builder of softball programs. Talk about a little history of everything that you've done in your life with coaching.
Yeah, I've been around 1 or 2 years now.
Okay.
Mostly at the 4-year level, a little bit of pro. So we're gonna run the Eastern Florida program just like a 4-year schools, because hopefully that's where our players end up.
Right.
And 4-year schools could look at our players and like, hey, if I know I recruited a player out of Eastern Florida, they're gonna know how to practice and go to study hall and do all that stuff. But yeah, my niche has kind of been a renovation specialist, flipping programs, if you will. So did it at University of Oklahoma, built them into a pretty decent team, and did it at University of Tennessee also up there in Knoxville, kind of got them on the map too.
Well, you made some appearance too at the World Series at the Division I level. I mean, you've been around. You're bringing that experience to Eastern Florida.
Yeah, been there five trips.
Wow.
One national championship, runner-up, couple thirds. But it's all about the experience, and whether it's going to be the JC World Series this year, or if our players are fortunate enough to move on to the 4-year level, and that's like the ultimate thing is to play at a school that's going to play in the NCAA tournament, and hopefully that experience will rub off on some of these players. And I'm going to try to get as many former players I know that can kind of maybe talk to our players and like, yeah, you really need to take advantage of this opportunity.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, you were hired in June, and you started with what, 4 players? Is that right?
Oh, yeah, I had a roster of 4 when I got the job. But that's all right, because then I could go out and say, hey, this person I want on the roster and that person, and just starting brand new.
Well, Coach, it's obviously the 4-year level, and the 2-year level is a little bit different in terms of recruiting. You only get to see the players 2 years instead of opposed to 4. How is that a challenge going forward with all the experience that you bring to Eastern Florida?
Well, the recruiting part's going to stay pretty similar.
Okay.
We were fortunate. I believe 17 of our 19 players are from the state of Florida, so geographically we're in a pretty good spot. The little difference that I'm going to have to work on is moving players on to the 4-year level. But having spent 30-something years there, I have a pretty good network, and hopefully if I call a 4-year coach and tell them this player's legit, they'll believe me. And so I have to work on not only bringing them in, but finding the right fit for them. And not everyone's going to go play in the SEC or the Pac-12 or something, but find a good fit for them academically and geographically. You know, a roster spot where maybe they get a little bit of scholarship money and some playing time.
So, Coach, how did you hear about Eastern Florida? It's got to be a good story.
Well, okay. So years ago when I was at University of Tennessee, I came down, I recruited a couple players out of Daytona.
Okay.
And met the athletic director. And his daughter was the 7-year-old Batgirl.
I'll be done.
Well, years later, she's an All-American pitcher at University of Alabama, wins them a national championship.
Wow.
I was coaching in the Pro League that summer and drafted her #1. So I've known that athletic director at Daytona for, close to 20 years. And the summer he called me up and goes, hey, you want another challenge? I'm like, tell me about it. And he said, well, I might have one for you. So he gave me Jeff Carr's info, and that's how it all began.
I'll be darned. I mean, I tell you what, you can see though with the facilities and everything that Eastern Florida's done here in such a short period of time. It's a great opportunity, Coach.
Yeah, I think the president's pretty big softball fan. I have a feeling he watches from up the window over there behind the first base dugout. And I did get a little phone call over the summer saying there were some weeds out there on the softball field that needed to be taken care of, and it came from Building 8.
Building 8.
Yeah, but
that's
it's
funny.
an incredible facility. It's got to be the best in the state, and it's better than a lot of 4-year schools. It really is. So that's been a good recruiting advantage for us. And those pictures of the locker room and the field are all over the internet now.
That's pretty good. Dr. Ritchie threw out the first pitch when they broke ground on that too, when they opened up the stadium. So he is a big fan. So now you're very creative with your team. You do a lot of cool things. Michael Parsons helped me with this. Talk about some of the things you energize your team base that a lot of coaches maybe delve in.
Well, we had a little practice at the end of the fall season that was Halloween costumes.
Okay.
And they were very creative. And we ended up playing a little kickball, including we had an inflatable hippo and some superheroes. And I dressed up as a mermaid.
As a mermaid?
Yeah. So then when Christmas party came around, my Secret Santa gave me an Ariel outfit.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. So those pictures made the internet too.
So inflatable hippo, talk about that. You used that as a coaching tool at one point, correct?
Yeah, the inflatable hippo had to be like 8 or 9 foot tall, and we had just played earlier that week, and let's just say our base running to home to first needed some improvement.
Okay.
So the team decided they would take video of the inflatable hippo running home to first, and then they showed it to me to prove that if the inflatable hippo could do it, done deal, they were going to nail it.
I think you're just a wonderful hire. This is great. Now, can I talk about something about the amazing race? Do I dare?
Yeah. This will be. Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
All right. This is
tomorrow.
fun.
The team will find out, but on Monday, Martin Luther King Day, we'll do our little workout in the morning, and then we're going to do an amazing race where they'll be in their little teams. We'll probably start at softball, have some sort of fitness challenge, then maybe some sort of math problem or something academic, like figure a batting average or something. And then they'll like sprint to soccer and kick some goals and have another challenge and maybe go shoot some three-pointers, fitness thing, and just go around campus. I'll be cruising around on the golf cart.
You got the good job.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it gets the ladies to buy in. So what are some of the goals you've laid out to some of your players? Talk about the spring. You got a big event coming up, the JUCO Classic in Clearwater. Talk about that coming up in January.
Well, the first thing we did is I changed, we don't have goals.
Okay.
We don't have goals. We have expectations.
I'll be darned.
It's just a dictionary thing, but a lot of times when you think of goals, they're this thing that might never be reached. Well, we changed it to expectations. Our expectations are finish in the top 2 in conference,
right?
Make it to the state tournament, expect to be in the top 2 there and play the national championship. So a goal kind of puts it as this far away thing you're never going to see, but hey, that's just the expectations here. We are going to do those things.
Huh. So expectations for this program.
Okay.
How about that?
Finish the top 2 in the conference.
Yep.
It's 2-2-1.
2-2-1.
2-2-1. Top 2 in the conference, top 2 in the state, number 1 in the nation.
I'm sure Building 8's going to be very excited to hear those goals. No, expectations.
We have the resources to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have it in terms of we've got the scholarships and the facility and the support staff, and everyone's committed. So they're realistic. They really are. I think, and the team is totally into it.
Well, I think too, the hire to be able to bring someone like you with the experience to bring in, that really speaks volumes to itself, in my opinion.
Well, I do have a pretty good recruiting network, and that's what it all comes down to. And I think the fact that I have spent a little time at the 4-year level is attractive to the players and their parents, because that's why they choose schools. Is the 2-year school they choose based on how good am I going to be in 2 years, and what can you do for me when it's my 2 years are done.
Well, we hope to have you a long time.
Thank
Coach,
you very much.
Welcome to Eastern Florida.
Thank you. Go Titans.
That's Jim Beatty. That's all the time we have. Remember to catch us each and every week at the same time. Anything and everything, check us out online at EFSCTitans.com. For my producer, Rob Landers, Sam Hensler, Michael Parsons, my name's Erik Kohler. Remember, Eastern Florida, where Titans rise.